Hello everyone, welcome to Machine Learning Laboratory. In the last video, we have seen the theory related to backpropagation algorithm. In this video, we will see the algorithm of backpropagation and the Python program of backpropagation algorithm. Backpropagation algorithm is stated as shown. The steps are: load dataset, assign all network inputs and output, initialize all weights with small random numbers, typically between -1 and +1. Repeat the following steps. For every pattern in the training set, present the pattern to the network. Following are the forward propagation steps. For each layer in the network and for every node in the layer, calculate the weight sum of the inputs to the node. Add the threshold to the sum. Calculate the activation for the node. The next step is propagate the errors backward through the network. For every node in the output layer, do the following. Calculate the error signal, then end. For all the hidden layers and for every node in the layer, do the following two steps. Calculate the node's signal error, update each node's weight in the network, then end. Next step is to calculate the global error. Calculate the error function and end. The above stated steps need to be carried out till maximum number of iterations are less than the one specified and error function is greater than the one specified. The training example considered for backpropagation algorithm is as shown in the figure. The example consists of two attribute values. One is sleep, second one is study. This training examples shows that if a student sleeps for a particular number of hours and studies for particular number of hours, what is the expected percentage in examination? In backpropagation algorithm, we will normalize the input data. Let us see why to normalize the input data. Normalizing the data generally speeds up learning and leads to faster convergence. If a feature in the data set is big in scale compared to others, then this big scaled feature becomes dominating, and as a result of that, prediction of the neural network will not be accurate. Consider an example. In case of employee data, if we consider age and salary, age will be a 2-digit number, while salary can be 7 to 8-digit number if we consider it in millions. In that case, salary will be dominating the prediction of the neural network. But if we normalize values of both the features will lie in the range from 0 to 1. Forward propagation of neural networks involves dot product of weights with input features. So if the values are very high, for example, image and non-image data, calculation of output takes lot of computation time as well as memory. Same is in the case during backpropagation. Consequently, model converges slowly if the inputs are not normalized. Example, if we perform image classification, size of image will be very huge as the value of each pixel ranges from 0 to 255. Normalization in this case is very important. In our training example, let us normalize the input data. Identify the biggest number in the feature column and divide each of the features with this biggest number. For example, sleep feature. In this column, identify the biggest number, that is 3 in our case. Now, this 3 need to be divided for every feature element in that column. So, the first row will be 2 by 3, second row will be 1 by 3, and third row will be 3 by 3. Like this, we need to divide the biggest number from each column for that feature. For the class column, that is expected percentage in exams in our example, we will divide each element by 100. In the program, first statement is import NumPy as NP. NumPy stands for Numerical Python. It is a library. It consists of multi-dimensional array objects. Also, it consists of collection of routines for processing those arrays. Using NumPy, mathematical and logical operations on arrays can be performed. We have written import NumPy as NP. Here, NP will act as alias name. The next statement is capital X is equal to np.array with input values, that is training data. Data type is equal to float. NumPy is used to work with arrays. The array object in NumPy is called NdArray. We can create a NumPy NdArray object by using array function. Consider an example to show this. Import NumPy as NP. Array is equal to np.array and the input values are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We will print that using print array. Even we will check the type of this array. The output is shown as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is an array. In our case, for our training data, the output is shown in the figure. There will be 3 rows and 2 columns with 2 and 9, 1 and 5, and 3 and 6.0. The input is converted to data type float. In the next statement, we will input the class data, that is 92, 86 and 89. Here also the data is converted to float type. The next 2 statements will normalize the input data. Capital X is equal to X divided by np.amax. X comma axis is equal to 0. Every element will be divided by the maximum element in that column. The result is as shown in the figure. Similarly, we have for y is equal to y upon 100. Again, the class data is also divided by 100 and normalized. Next, we will define the sigmoid function. As you know, the sigmoid function is nothing but the output from a node. We have calculated the output as 1 upon 1 plus e raised to minus net input. Here, x is treated as net input and it is passed to calculate the sigmoid function. Epoch is equal to 5000 will indicate the number of training iterations. In this example, we have considered 5000 training iterations. Next, we have considered for our example the learning rate as 0.1. Next, we have initialization of number of features, number of hidden layer, and number of neurons at output layer. The number of features in data set is taken as 2. The number of hidden layer neurons considered are 3, and the number of neurons at output layer is considered as 1. Next, we have weight initialization for hidden layer, that is WH. The random.uniform method returns a random floating number between the two numbers specified. In our case, the code will fetch random floating point number between 2 and 3 because the input layer neuron we have specified as 2 and hidden layer neurons we have specified as 3. This is shown in the figure. The next statement is bias initialization for hidden layer, that is BH. This code will fetch random floating point number between 1 and 3 because hidden layer neurons we have considered as 3. This is shown in the figure. WOUT is weight initialization for output layer. This statement will fetch random floating point number between 3 and 1. In our case, hidden layer neurons is 3 and output neurons is 1. One sample is shown in the figure. BOUT will show the bias initialization for output layer. This statement will fetch random floating point number between 1. For I in range, epoch will indicate I is equal to 0 to 4999. We are iterating the following statements for 5000 times. Next is forward propagation. For each iteration, neural network improves its performance. We will calculate the dot product of x and their weight, that is input and their weight. We will add bias value to calculated dot product, that is hidden p is equal to hidden p1 plus bh. For the calculated dot product, we will apply the sigmoid activation function. The out INP1 indicates we are at output layer and calculate the dot product of hidden layer and weight of output. For this output, we will add the bias value and we will apply the sigmoid function. The output is subtracted from actual matrix of feature. Then derivative sigmoid is applied to that output. The derivative at output is calculated using error at output multiplied by output gradient. We will do dot product of matrix for output layer to see how error is caused by hidden layer. In the next step, we will find out how much hidden layer weights contributed to error by hidden grad variable and d underscore hidden layer variable. In the next step, we will calculate the total weight at the output. The new weight is calculated as new weight is equal to old weight plus the dot product of hidden layer derivative into the learning rate. The output of the program will show the input considered, the actual output and the predicted output. The input is the normalized input. Actual output is the target output which we have considered in the training data itself. Predicted output is the output which we have got after 5000 iterations and continuous modifications of the weights.